Yay, we're recording. Okay, hello everyone. Ultimate Portion Fix call, weekly call. We really want to, Erin and I were very much wanting to do this for you guys because we know this is something very much new. It's a lot of information to take in, so we want to be very available for you guys because in the group, yep, you're able to post something any time of the day, but to be able to see each other live and to answer those in-depth questions is what this is for, and to share our experience as well as we go through this right alongside you. Okay, we are becoming certified. Erin already is. I'm almost there. But just know that, like, just because we're very much doing this right alongside of you guys as we're learning about everything. So Erin and I just wanted to touch on a few things tonight, but as always, ask questions. I'm specifically going to start out, I think, Erin, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just going to start off with talk about my experience with the containers, a little intro about me, and then just the plan that I specifically follow. Because if you are watching the videos as we lay out throughout this past week, you know about the different paths that are available. And so I started my journey 2.5 years ago with 21 Day Fix, which the containers came with that program. And now I feel like I'm reliving it all over again, but now with the containers on steroids is what I like to call it, since we have all these videos and tools and resources. But then 21 Day Fix real time, which I did today. And man, oh man, I was huffing and puffing. So, I have always done Foundation Fix, okay, until I did 80 Day Obsession, but I always did Foundation Fix because that's what we had. And I am a very, very, very picky eater, you guys. Like, I hate cooked vegetables. I was a carbaholic before I started this and found this plan. I ate pasta like it was going out of style, bread like it was my best friend, like everything about carbs I loved. My husband is actually a personal trainer, and I think he let it go, but was a certified nutritionist and told me all the time that if I wanted results, I need to stop eating all the carbs, and I wouldn't listen to him. And then I listened to Autumn, and then I got results. So, it was this community too that was super, super helpful. But I love the containers because of how simple it is, you guys. Oh my gosh, when I saw them and I thought, I was one of those people like, I'm not going to be able to eat out of those things. Like, it's not going to be enough food. And then come to find out it was too much food. Not really, but I have to eat it all. But it's one of those things that when you start to educate yourself and you learn as you go, you guys, I've been doing this for 2.5 years now. And so, yes, I still use the containers because I measure my food because it is way more than what they really is if I go by my eyes and just trying to measure it that way. So I still do use the containers. I still measure my food that way, and I am able to still make progress, especially on my postpartum journey. After 80 Day Obsession came out, I did Time Nutrition during that and absolutely loved it because, like I said, I'm a very picky eater, but I'm also someone that loves a plan written out for me. And when Time Nutrition came about, it had all the containers together on what you should eat, pre-workout, post-workout, and other meals throughout the day. And I love that. I love to have it just laid out for me, and this is what exactly you do. And so I did that, and since doing 80 Day Obsession a year ago, because I was postpartum then, and now my baby's 1, but since doing that, I've been able to continue using the Time Nutrition method with every program that I've done. I've now bumped down a bracket. I was in Plan C when I was breastfeeding, and now that that journey has ended, I am moving down to Plan B because I am in maintenance mode. And so I'm still doing Time Nutrition, but I'm still figuring it out now that it's a new plan and I don't have like a veggie, because I used to eat 5 veggies. Now I only have 4. And so there's not like a veggie at every single meal anymore, which is what I'm used to. And so Autumn says it in the videos, you guys, Time Nutrition is what she does, and she finds it to be the easiest. And it's because it takes all the guesswork out for you. It allows you to just look at it. Okay, putting these containers together, that's what I'm going to eat then for that meal. And so that's why I personally love it, but it does take a while to get the hang of it. And so just because you don't understand it in the first week, don't give up on it. It takes time, just like anything. It takes time to get used to. It takes time to get to know yourself and what you like and what you don't like and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why I enjoy it. So if you have any specific questions regarding that, I can answer them for you or be able to help you with that. But then I know Erin was going to chime in with herself. I'm going to unmute you. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My headphones have been a little wacky. Sorry, guys. So for those of you guys that don't know me, just quickly, my name is Erin Trier. Bridget and I work very closely in this business, as you guys have probably seen just from being in our groups and being in our Ultimate Portion Fix test group here. Like we're super passionate about what we do. The funniest part about it is Bridget and I started coaching within about 4 weeks of each other. So I've also been in the business about the same time, a little over 2.5 years. And I have had quite the journey with this community, just from being able to change myself from the inside out. Nutrition is a massive pain point for me, guys. Like it always has been, it always will be. It's something that I'm always learning more about, which is why I was so excited to get certified with this specific program, because I just can never learn enough. Like I can never educate myself enough about, the most nutrient dense foods to eat, how to fuel for energy, how to teach my kids and infuse this into our household. Like I just can never learn enough, because I've always struggled with being able to create just sustainable habits. I've always been a carboholic, like Bridget said. Like sugar has been my vice my whole life. I always have relied heavily on sugar-loaded, snacky junk to help me energize myself throughout the day, especially when I hit that like 2 to 3 p.m. slump. That was my biggest pain point for a really long time. And I finally got to a place where enough was enough. Like I had pretty much tried everything from carb cycling and intermittent fasting, keto, Weight Watchers, like literally the gamut when it comes to nutrition strategies. And nothing was sustainable enough for me, because I didn't learn the how and the why and the science behind what actually makes a difference when it comes to fueling your body for life, for energy, for sustainability, and in a way that actually helped me teach my kids and my family. And that was a huge goal for me. And one of the biggest reasons I have fallen in love with our community, because it teaches sustainability in every aspect, not only for yourself, but for the people in your household and for the people that are really important to you in your life. And so I absolutely love our nutrition strategies, because they are by far the most sustainable and the most realistic when it comes to adapting it into everyday life. No matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, on vacation, out of the comfort of your home, like there's still strategies that you can learn within this program and really within our entire community that you can adopt into anything you're doing. But like Bridget said, it does take time. And so I typically am the most comfortable with the foundational fix strategy within the nutrition program. I kind of like the flexibility of being able to choose what containers to eat throughout my day. I typically plan, my dinners, and then I just kind of pick and choose containers throughout the day based on how I'm feeling. I will tell you though, like with timed nutrition, and as Bridget said, like when I went through the 80-day obsession program last January after I had my third baby, I had amazing results from that program, because having that additional level of structure where you're supposed to eat these containers together, it just gives you that added level of accountability and makes it even more brainless. So really a lot of this is just kind of going to be trial and error and figuring out what works best for you. For me, I most often am following foundational, but I will say that I plan to eventually get back into more time nutrition, just because I've seen different kinds of results from that when I just buckle down even more and really focus in on that strategy and that scheduling and that brainless, just easy to follow plan. But I think, guys, like the biggest thing to understand, and this is what Bridget and I really wanted to portray tonight, is 2 things. The first thing is whether or not we want to admit it, like doing these programs, being a part of this community, adopting the nutrition strategies, making the choice to learn it, like it is work. Okay. It does take time. It is something you have to actively participate in. You have to choose to watch the videos. You have to make the time to learn it. You have to put it into action. And the reality is we're not always going to feel like doing that. I know I don't always feel like doing that. There's days where I'm like, I don't feel like paying attention to what I'm eating. I don't feel like preparing ahead. I don't feel like prepping for the week. But I've learned enough along the way, especially as someone who really struggles with nutrition, like the power is in the planning. And Autumn says this throughout our entire program. And for those of you guys that have been able to start to dive into the videos, she says like the battle isn't planning. Like the battle isn't planning is not half the battle. Planning is the battle, right? Planning is the whole name of the game. And if you're not planning and prepping and making the choice to actively put in the work and learn, it's just going to be a bigger struggle for you to really get into understanding how this system can really benefit your life from the inside out. So I want to make sure you guys know that, and I want to make sure that you guys understand that that's why this group is here, right? Like, we're going to have these calls every week where we'll be talking like this and giving each other feedback and talking through things that were hard, things that were easy, things that we're learning, things that we still have questions about. But the other piece is just checking in with the group every day and leaning into the support, because the support in the community is how you're really able to just create the sustainable change that you probably joined this community looking for, because I know that's what I needed. Like, I needed the sustainability, right? I needed something to stick around for the long haul. And so just know that it's going to take work, and that's okay. And the whole idea is, embracing the imperfection of it all, embracing that we're all going to be failing forward together, and we're going to be learning together. And so the best thing that you can do is show up for yourself the way you deserve, show up for yourself the way you invested in by joining this community, and ask questions, and just know that we're here to support you guys. So that's a big one that I wanted to just make sure that I portrayed. And then the second thing is, guys, like, this is supposed to be fun, right? And I know sometimes when you're going through things and you're trying to make change, it can't always feel that fun, right? Like, it can feel overwhelming. It can be annoying, like, especially when you have life happening, right? And nobody wants to take that extra step to really prioritize their self-care some days when you have so much happening in the world around you. Like, I experience that all the time. And I know a lot of people that I interact with in this community experience the same thing. Like, it can be so hard to prioritize your own time, your own self-care, prepping, planning, putting yourself first, when there are 10 bazillion things happening around us, and a lot of which is out of our control. But I want to just encourage you guys to remember that this is supposed to be fun. It's a learning opportunity. Like, this is not about perfection. This is about making progress in a way that creates slow, sustainable change for your life. And that's what Bridget and I are passionate about. Like, that's what we strive to teach the people that come into our community. Just this idea of, we want you to adopt this for the long haul. Yes, we asked you, like, if you were interested in joining our test group. It's essentially a 4 to 6 week group, because we're having 2 weeks of prep plus 30 days of going through the Ultimate Portion Fix program. But guys, like, this is supposed to be something that you slowly adopt into life, like into a lifestyle. This isn't going to be a 30, 45 day thing and then you just fall off. Like, that's not our goal. Like, our goal is really to support you to create sustainability in your life, because that's what this community has gifted to me. And that's my deepest passion of all as a coach. I want people to feel this level of sustainability and control and just freedom related to how to actually eat for life and for energy and for your body in a way that makes you feel your absolute best. So I think those are the two biggest things I wanted to talk about, B, on top of my experience. I think, guys, I know obviously we're in the middle of prep week. We're into week 2 here. A lot of you are starting videos. Some of you, I know that I've talked to, are either ahead or behind or getting caught up, which is totally fine. You have access to the videos forever, so you have plenty of time to watch them and catch up. So I don't know if there's a ton of questions right now, but I'd love to open it up to questions, unless, Bridget, if you have anything else you want to mention right now. But I'd love to open up to questions. You guys can unmute yourself. You can chat on the side in the chat feature. I can talk through a couple things that people have mentioned to me, if that works, B. Do you want me to just do that?
Well, I was also going to mention too, right after this, if anybody has a question, go ahead and put it in the chat or just raise your hand. But for watching the videos, obviously Erin just stated we're in the second week of prep. And so as we obviously got the materials a couple weeks ahead of time, we were familiarizing ourselves with how this group actually goes and everything. And so there is 2 weeks of prep, which is us going through the videos and doing the workbook. And then next Monday is when the 30-day challenge starts, and that's when you'll use the daily logbook. And each day it talks about different things, which we'll go over probably, I would say, next week on our Monday night call. But watching the videos, you guys, me specifically, I just watch them throughout the day. What I love is that I can eat, I just learned this weekend, I can get them on Beachbody On Demand on my TV. I'm like, yes! Otherwise, I was watching them on my phone while I did the dishes, while I'm in the shower, while I'm folding laundry. Like, that's when I'm doing this stuff, because I'm essentially, I feel like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And so getting something done, but listening to something that I think is helping me and will help me make progress on my journey. And so that is hopefully something that can help you guys if you're having a hard time finding the time to watch the videos. It is available on the app on your phone, Beachbody On Demand app. The Nutrition Plus app is available there as well. Otherwise, obviously, Beachbody On Demand on your computer or your app on your TV if you do have a smart TV or a tablet too. So I wanted to throw that in there. So go ahead, Erin, with the questions you've gotten so far.
Okay, cool. So a couple things that people that I've kind of checked in with so far have talked to me about are things like planning and prep work. How do you do it? What's the most effective? How do you focus on your time? Like, what's going to make the most sense for you and your family? Like, how do you make it so you're not wasting food? So planning and prep is huge. And like I said, for those of you guys that are going through the videos, which I know all of you are, if you haven't heard Autumn say it yet, like I said, she said planning is literally, like, that's the name of the game. It is the battle. And so if you're not in the habit of planning and prep work, and I can honestly wholeheartedly tell you guys, like, I literally used to do -0 planning. Like, we'd go to the grocery store, we had no lists, we would buy random stuff, we would put it in our fridge, we would prep nothing, and it was just a random smorgasbord of stuff that I had to try to figure out and plan throughout the week. And it was a disaster. Like, I literally would open the fridge and I would stare at it and I would become so paralyzed and overwhelmed because I had nothing prepped in there that I would just say, never mind, not going in there. And I literally would grab like a slice of cheese and 2 slices of bread and make a grilled cheese for dinner. And that was my cycle, right? Like, I just got so overwhelmed by trying to figure out, how do I prep like in the moment without any kind of plan? Okay. So the biggest piece of advice I can give you, as somebody who literally started at ground zero and has very, very slowly worked my way up into more planning, is start small. Like, start really small. Decide like one healthy snack you want to try to prep for 3 to 5 days, and prep that. And then try like a breakfast maybe. Like, I used to dive into preparing like overnight oats, which you can put in mason jars, which are really good because you can store them in the fridge for up to 3 to 4 days. Like, stuff like that. Like, choose one thing, start small. Like, even pulling grapes off the vine and cutting red peppers and having your like fruits and vegetables washed and put in containers, like stuff like that. It sounds really small, but it makes a massive difference, especially when you're like tired and like annoyed and don't want to do anything during the week, which we all get to those points because the week can be so overwhelming. Just do anything you can on Sunday or Saturday if you want to, or whatever day that is kind of before your big chunk of work time or your craziness of your week. Like, anything that you can do to start small to prepare yourself for success is awesome. And Autumn actually shares a couple great prep videos in the program where she gives a couple different strategies. She talks about how she actually like puts meals together and puts them in the fridge. And then she also talks about how she like bulk cooks food and puts it in one big container and then like portions it out as she wants to combine foods throughout the week. But really, guys, it's a lot of trial and error. And the best advice I can give you is just to start small. And that it's normal to be a little bit like, why does it feel like all these foods are sort of random at the beginning? And I don't really get like yellow, green, red. Okay, but what do I eat? How do I eat this together? How do I find a recipe? Like, it's a learning process. It takes time. And the best thing to do is just take action, take small action, and keep going. And as you continue to learn and fail forward, that's when you kind of ask the group for what other kind of support you need or what other kinds of ideas other people in this community have. And that's what's helped me the most. So that's a big one. The other big thing, I'm trying to think of the other big thing I've heard about. Planning and prep was a big one. I got to think about the other ones. I think those are the big ones right now. I don't know, do you have any B that you?
Can you guys hear me just fine? I'm kind of freezing, I feel like. Okay. One question I had is someone that it had to do with prepping. So obviously I feel like that's one big struggle that people have is what if they prep their food, and then by the end of the week they don't want to eat that. And so I specifically do not prep for, like, let's say Friday, Saturday, Sunday for this weekend ahead, just because my husband does work only half days on Fridays, so I feel like I have a little bit more time to be in the kitchen on Friday afternoon to cook something. But otherwise, the weekends for me are times I have more time to be in the kitchen. And so while I'm doing my meal prep on Sunday, I'll make that Sunday night dinner at the same time, or on Saturday, I might split up my meal prep between 2 days and then do it while I'm already making dinner. So I'm already in the kitchen, I'm already doing dishes, so I'm just gonna do it for that week ahead. And so I will prep that food later in the week just to be able to know that that's something we still wanna eat. Mainly it's just me if I still wanna eat it because my family just gets whatever I make. But being able so that you don't get sick of it is nice. Otherwise, if you just, another tip is if make bigger batches of things like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Thursday, Friday be leftovers night, you know, and then Saturday and Sunday can be your prep and making dinners those night. And so I always do that too, is making bigger batches at the beginning of the week, because by the end of the week, you know, you're tired, you're exhausted, and so just having leftovers is really, really nice to not be able to, or not have to grab anything from the kitchen to cook and all that kind of stuff. So does anybody have any questions at all that they want to ask us on this call? And if you're watching the recording, just pop them in the comments below and we'll be able to come back and answer them for you. But just raise your hand if you guys have any direct questions. Like I said, no question is a dumb question. All right, Heather, you're unmuted.
Okay, for the timed nutrition, how do you go about doing that if you already, like I work out at 4:45 in the morning, so I'm not going to eat before that.
Well,
so what do you suggest?
Okay, so 4:45, so 4:45. So Autumn always talks about actually fueling your body before a workout, and you can switch around one of the meals that she says if you need a lighter one. So Autumn specifically says, and I'm the same way as Autumn, like I can eat and go work out and be just fine, but she knows everybody else digests their food differently, and so some people need that full hour, but some people are okay just having a half an hour, 10 minutes, or whatever. So if you're okay with having that, like having just a protein, a fruit, and a teaspoon, I think it is, right before that, which could be the Greek yogurt, fruit, and a teaspoon of something is what I had this morning specifically. But otherwise, just she's very much of within the hour of waking up, fueling your body with something. And so even if it's just a beach bar, Daily Sunshine, I had a challenger drink Daily Sunshine because it's a half a serving of some of the things, but fueling your body with something, she says, is super important before a workout and within an hour of waking up.
Okay.
So hopefully that's helpful.
Yep.
She also said at the very least, just try to eat something, even if it's a half a piece of fruit or something small. Yeah, like a banana, applesauce, something of the sort, to just get something in your body that it can fuel for your workout and get your metabolism going is what she specifically talks about.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, can I hop in?
Yeah, yes.
That's such a good question, Heather, because that was huge for me too. When I was starting 80-Day Obsession, because I had a newborn and I was trying to get up at 5:30 and work out, and I was like, I'm not getting up at 3:30 to eat. Like, that makes no sense. So I will tell you, just from experience, now that I've gone through Time Nutrition, foundational, whatever, like, it is actually really fascinating how much your body will like respond and get used to fuel before a workout. And I was always the person really used to fasted workouts. Like, I was actually taught that strategy for quite a while. And I never really let my body warm up to the idea of fueling and having something in my system before a workout, because I just was never taught that. And even as an athlete, I was used to fasted workouts. And I will tell you, like, it's pretty amazing how much your body can shift and how much harder you can actually hit a workout when you have a little bit of something in your system. But it kind of takes practice. And like Bridget said, and like I said also in the chat, like, even starting with something small to get your body used to it, don't feel like you have to be up 2 hours before that. But, a 20 to 30 minutes before having something small, like, it really can start to make a difference and just kind of give your digestion and your body like a new way of doing things. And I've learned the value of really trying to mix it up a little bit just over time. So kind of wanted to just give my experience with that, because I totally felt the same way, like when I first was looking at the Time Nutrition program.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Brittany raised her hand.
Yes.
Hi, Brittany.
Okay, so hello. So I'm doing the Time Nutrition and I'm breastfeeding still. The biggest thing that I've been going through is So I started like about a week ago with the containers, and it's finding enough time like to be able to eat every 2 hours because it feels like I'm constantly eating. But the biggest problem is like when I have to go somewhere and say I'm gone for like 4 to 5 hours, like with breastfeeding, I need my calories, but I don't know how to mostly like eat on the go.
Yes, Autumn does talk about that. She said she, even in 80-day obsession, she told people always bring a meal with you because there will be times you think you're just running out for an hour and you're gone for 4 to 5 and then you skipped a meal or something. Great meals on the go, obviously Shakeology. If you can put that in the blender and then if you're going to have it in an hour, otherwise if you just have it shaken, that is an amazing meal to have on the go. But there are so many options too for on the go stuff. Like I think of, hard baked eggs. I even put Greek yogurt and fruit in the thing to bring on the go. I bake veggies. I love raw veggies. I hate cooked veggies, so I'm always eating raw veggies the way it is. And so different ideas like that. I've seen, when I saw people going through the test group of 80-day obsession, I mean, they were packing a lot of meals on the go, even heating them up and putting them in, let's say, a tote to keep them insulated. So there are plenty of options for you if you go down the food list to just see. But I would advise you to bring a meal with you, especially with breastfeeding, because you don't want to ever feel that hunger. And obviously water too. Water to help with that. Erin, do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I would say like on the go, it takes a lot of practice. Like I think that's one of those things. It's like another added level of learning through this program. And again, like I talked about, I started at ground zero with never planning anything. So that was one of those extra pieces where I had to really learn how to how to forward think about my day, when I was going to be out of the house, when I was supposed to be eating and stuff like that. One of the things that was actually super, super helpful with the 80-day obsession program was setting timers in your phone. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but it actually is a really good friendly reminder of just prompting you to say, okay, hey, yeah, I'm supposed to be eating again. Here's what I should be eating. Because with the timers, like if you have an iPhone or really any smartphone now, like with the timers, you can put like the different colored, I'll share a snapshot of this. I don't know if I did. I don't remember. But you can put like little colored emojis of like what containers you should be eating at a certain time of the day. And like that was actually really helpful for me because I could look through my timers and see when during the day I was maybe going to be out of the house, and I could look really quickly at, okay, I need to have a green and a purple and a blue at that time when I'm out. And I need to have a yellow, a green, and a red at that time when I'm out. And so I just would know like what quick stuff I could grab. Mom, can you turn the light on? Sorry, guys. Can you turn the light on? Oh my God. Oh, my mom is in town. She's a goof. Yeah. So like that was really helpful. Like having the containers was super, super helpful and kind of on the timers. But it's one of those things that takes practice and just, you got to give yourself grace, right? It's not going to be perfect. And so the more you learn about the foods, the more you learn how to select like the food lists, the more you learn, what foods you like more than others and how to pair them. That will help you learn how to pack accordingly based on that stuff. But yeah, that's another great question because again, it's just one of those things you just kind of work your way into.
Okay.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it won't be perfect. Like you've been doing it, you said, for a week now. And I mean, the Time Nutrition for me has only been a year now. So I feel like I'm learning as I go still along my journey to figure that out, but it won't be perfect. And I just also want to emphasize to you guys that when we talk about different stuff, you got to remember, do not compare yourself to anybody else. Obviously, Erin and I have been doing this for 2.5 years, just using the container system in general. So our chapter 20 to your chapter 1, like do not compare that. And especially because if we're talking about the food list, and if you are just making this change and you're looking at your food list and you're like, okay, I didn't normally incorporate those kind of foods in my normal day-to-day eating, and you start to, and let's say you're picking things at the bottom of the list because that's what you're normally things you like, and obviously the stuff at the top is the most nutritious for you, I guess you could say, like but don't be like, oh, I feel discouraged just because you're picking things from the bottom. Remember, this is all about making progress. The fact that you're choosing things from that food list is amazing, and that should be celebrated. Okay, and so it's always my goal to try to incorporate things from the top of the list, but there's a lot of those things I don't like, being a very, very picky eater. And so I just celebrate that I am picking something off of that dang list. And so I want you guys to remember that, and don't compare yourself to anybody else's journey, because your journey is unique. And the fact that you committed to this and are in here and are making a change, not only for you, but for your family, is amazing and should be celebrated, okay? So I want you guys to remember that. Does anybody else have any other questions? Because I want to be very much of your guys' time, value your guys' time. All right. Well, I will post this recording in the group so that you guys will all have it, to be able to look back if you guys missed anything or wanted to hear something again. And as always, we're available anytime. Post any questions that you have in the group at all. And obviously, if I can't answer it, Erin will be there, or somebody else that might have gone through the same thing might be able to answer it. But yes, we're excited. We're so excited to continue on this and finish prep week and then start our official 30-day challenge next week. I'm like really excited to use this daily logbook. I hope you guys are too. But have a fabulous night, and we will see you guys in the group, all right? Bye, guys.